Good afternoon, everyone, or I guess technically still morning, 11:30 here in Montana. This is Rebecca Langman, your favorite interior designer with Revision Custom Home Design in Billings, Montana. So today I am working on part two of a project I started Monday, I think it was. Streamed out the beginnings of this project. So real quick recap. Hopefully I won't get interrupted again. But this is a shop house or barn dominium or whatever you want to call it, shouse. Essentially, it is a large structure, typically a pole barn construction, where all of the structure is on the exterior, and the interior walls kind of don't matter as much. But essentially, like 2/3 shop, 1/3 house, and it really just looks like a big barn utility building from the outside. So this particular one, it's for a contractor I've worked with a few times before, and I believe this is his personal project, not one he's building for a client. So kind of fun to get to work a little closer with him on that. But we've already got the main floor mostly done. Now, the client did, of course, send me sort of a graph paper version of what he was looking for, with the caveat that as the designer, if I see anything that needs to be changed, to obviously make those changes and help him make his vision match what can actually be built. Because even contractors, when they build, you draw something on a graph paper, you forget about a few inches here and there for wall thicknesses. You can lose a lot of space pretty quickly. So we're going to hop right in here. What I've got going on here, this, like I said, is the main floor of the house. The overall size of this structure, including kind of a covered patio, is 116 foot by 48. So that is obviously very good size. That is much larger than your average house. So a little over half of the main floor is this main shop garage area. It's got 4 garage doors. I'm thinking, oh, I'm just realizing. Oh, no, never mind. I thought maybe one more was a small door. But anyway, 4 large garage doors, one that's a little smaller, more of an average size, 9 foot. And this large shop area is going to have, I believe, a 14-foot ceiling, or no, bigger than that. 18-foot ceiling. The garage doors are 14 foot tall. The ceiling is 18 foot tall on this front half. This back half, there's going to be a second floor up above it. So that's where I'm going to have to kind of dig in here today and figure out how to get that second floor built in here. But the main floor is mostly done. Again, we have a single car garage here. That's kind of the family garage. So for the wife, for her vehicle. Utility for the structure is all in this little closet back here. You enter the house. We've got over here, I'll zoom in a little bit. Front door comes into this great room, which has kitchen on one end. There's a fireplace on the other end. And then it's just a big open living space. Coat closet for the front. And then the secondary closet here is a pantry. Not huge, but it's something. And then right off of that great room, we have a small powder room. Now, I generally don't like doing a powder room directly off of a great room like this, but, it is what it is. And then we've got a secondary laundry, or actually, this is the primary laundry for the house. Over here, I've carved out a little wet sink, and then the washer and dryer there. And then the master suite is back here. There's a bedroom, bathroom with a large 4x8 shower, closet. On the other half, from the garage, we have a secondary laundry / powder room, so that all those messy shop clothes with grease and dirt and whatever else don't ever enter the house. Those are all just right here, as well as a quick little powder room to keep all that mess contained out there. And then we have 2 storage rooms, one that'll specifically for hunting. It's going to have all the mounts. I think it's going to be a tabletop for, cleaning guns and whatnot. And then a secondary storage room for the main part of the house. So there's my basic tour. Zoom back out here. So now what I've got to do, the main floor, I just have to get the kitchen and that fireplace put in. So I'm going to zoom back on in here. Now we have a 16-foot, I've got it drawn in as a slider. It's either going to be a multi-slider or an accordion style door to get just a huge wall of windows in here. So first thing I want to do real quick, I'm going to do a corner fireplace. So I got to scroll through my library here and find one that'll work. Or make one work. Yeah, we'll do that for now. All right. Okay. And as you can see, that kind of overlaps a little bit here. But we've got some space here. I put that at 4 foot from the corner. Let's see what that looks like at 3 foot from the corner. That might be just about right, because we really don't need a lot of space over here. This end of the house, we're doing the kitchen. Okay. So we need, in this kitchen, we basically need everything all on this back wall. The island is more workspace and eating space. And then this back wall is where all the utility is. So I think probably fridge down on one end. We're going to do, let's see, we'll do a full height cabinet here, and I'll make that 12 inches wide. Just enough to kind of give us some wiggle room there in the corner. Then we'll do a fridge. Pop that in there. And then we need a range. And then dishwasher and sink. So sink needs to be a 3 foot base. This is not huge in terms of storage on this back wall. And I also don't want that sink to be the only cabinet here at the end. So we're going to put a little end piece here. I'm also going to move this door over a little ways. Okay, so we are able to get, that's a little crowded. Let's shrink that down to, yeah, about 1'6". Okay. So then we need a sink. A dishwasher. Okay. So that's pretty much the basics of the kitchen. We need wall cabinets. So I'll do one above the fridge here. And part of the reason I do that full height cabinet on the one end, A, for a little bit of storage, especially considering the pantry is all the way over here. But B, it gives that upper cabinet something to connect to look integral. And also, a lot of the things people don't think about with fridges, especially with like these double door ones and whatnot, you gotta have space for the doors to open. So if that fridge was tucked all the way in the corner, even if you could open that fridge door almost the full 90 degrees, it wouldn't be the full 90 because of the handle. So the handle's going to add a couple inches. Secondly, so many fridges these days have, 2 and 3 and 4 inch deep shelves on the inside. So you open that thing up and you're already limiting your field of access by that 4 inches, not plus the size of the handle. So it really makes for a very awkward function if you don't put some kind of a spacer there on the end. And personally, in a corner like that, a full height cabinet is way more functional than a base and an upper, because otherwise it just kind of creates a dead corner. And if I switch over here into the 3D view, you'll see what I mean by that. So, that makes so much more sense than trying to have a little 12-inch wide anything there. Now, as long as I'm in this 3D view, might as well real quick throw in some more uppers. So we need an upper here. This will pop up like that. And we'll make that, I think 30 is usually the range. Throw a few little uppers here. I'm going to shrink this one down a little bit. And then we'll do maybe like that, because the client does definitely want a window above that sink. And he said generally he likes 36 by 72 for a 9-foot ceiling. You can go a little lower. So that gets us at a pretty good height where we've got a nice view out of the window there. That kind of centered above that sink. Little cabinet up there for cups or whatever, little spot. And then we need an under cabinet microwave. Let me just double check the dimensions on. Yep, that looks right. Okay, under cabinet microwave. And if it's not spot on, it will kind of mess with some of that. All right, got that. Oh, that still doesn't look. There we go. So there we have our basic functional back wall. And now we'll go back on in here with our raised cabinet. We want to make sure we have at least 3 foot of clearance on this end. And then we also want a 3 to 4 foot clearance here in the middle. I'm going to actually shoot for 4 because I think we've got the space. So I'm going to turn this back around. And let's do 4 foot here. Now you'll see that's labeling that as 3'6". That's because it's labeling off of the front of the fridge. And that's part of why I want that 4 foot clearance there if possible. Although I might shrink it down just a little bit. Maybe we'll do like 3'3". So that actually puts us at, hold on, 4'2". Cabinet to cabinet. Let's make that 4 foot. Okay. And then we just want to kind of go down the row, we want enough of an island that we're covering that sink because you don't want to be over here in the living room and really seeing straight into any of those appliances. The exception being the fridge. And I've got that on that end because for accessibility, if they're out on the patio and they want to come in and grab some drinks, or if they're coming from the living room, that's the easiest thing to have access to. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So right now we've got a 12-foot island, which is huge. Pretty awesome. So I'm just going to show it like this for now. Actually, wait, I want to do... We'll do this. Let's make this a 12-inch. Put another one down on this end. Gotta make sure they're facing the right way. Okay. And then we will do a custom countertop to connect the dots. There we go. So now we have beautiful island, 10 feet of countertop bar stool, well, 12 feet of countertop space, 10 feet of bar stool space. So we'll just do kind of a basic. Obviously my spacing is a little bit off here. Okay, so you get up to 5 stools there. Probably 4 might be a little more comfortable, but 5 is doable. Yeah, 5's a little crowded. We'll take one out. There we go. That's a little better spacing. Okay, so now if we flip over to the camera, you'll see that is what our kitchen looks like. Now, of course, those are just default materials. The client will still pick all of that. I'm going to really quick, though. I like my appliances to all be the stainless. I think it just looks better. Not to mention, when the client's looking at this, it's just easier for them to see what, where everything is, if they can quickly identify, hey, these are my appliances. So, all right, that is our kitchen. And then as we rotate around the room, oh, that's a cool looking fireplace. All right, so we've got a door in the middle of the room here that goes to the master. We've got this one here, that's the laundry. This one here, that's the powder room. That's the pantry. That goes to the garage. And then this is the front hall coat closet. Now, the only thing I don't really like in looking at this today, I'm not a huge fan of having this powder room where it is. I want it accessible off the great room, but because of where it's at, when people leave that door even partially open, it's very likely that you could be hanging out here by the fireplace and literally see the toilet. So I'm thinking I might swap this laundry and the powder room just just switch the location. Just because, you don't want to really see the laundry either, but if we move that over, you're less likely to see the toilet when that door is left open. So, second here. Okay. So, and the only thing that does, I'm going to have to figure out what I want to do with that deep sink, because I really want to get that in there, but I don't know. I might end up having to kind of steal a tiny bit of extra space from this closet. Although I don't know that that will help me, actually. So, I'm just going to move that kind of over here. I'm going to change this to a 2'6" door, so we don't need a 3-foot door if we're doing it that way. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to shorten that up a little bit. We're going to move this door a little closer like that. I'm going to move that up and over. And then I'm going to rotate this. Okay. So my toilet has enough clearance. I'm going to shrink my vanity down just a little bit because we don't need a full 3-foot vanity in here. We'll do 27-inch. I think that makes sense. Okay, so we need to have proper clearance here. I kind of want to see, that's not going to be proper clearance. Yeah, that's going to feel way too tight. So there's really not something that makes sense over here. So I'm going to actually just shorten this up a little bit. Move those over. carry that. Okay. So I'm just stealing a tiny little bit of space from this closet. Delete that. To make this powder room kind of make better sense. Typically, I would want the door swing to swing the other direction. So you're not, yeah. Typically, I would want that, but because the purpose of switching this around is to limit that sight line of the toilet into the living room, I think this actually makes more sense. And then we can always use this little space over here in the corner as like a little bonus storage for in here. So we'll put like a little mini door if we can. Yeah, so we'll just have that extra, and we'll say maybe, you know, maybe like linen closet storage or something. I'll put a little note here. Okay, and then real quick, oops, not the toilet. Change the name of this one to powder room. Change the name of this to laundry. So we'll put our little utility sink over here, and then that even gives us a little bit of space for a cabinet. So we've actually given ourselves a larger laundry room. We don't have the utility sink in that funky little corner, and we've improved the sight lines so we're not staring at a toilet if people leave the door open. Now, if someone leaves the door wide open, yeah, you're going to see the toilet. But most people have the decency to pull a door like 45 degrees, and in that case, you're not really going to see it. So that changes our view just a tiny bit here. It moves those doors closer together, so you have space in the middle for a wall art or a little console table or something. I like that it kind of pairs the doors up instead of having them all staggered down the row. Okay. And like I said, it actually gives us more space than that. And we only stole, you know, maybe a foot out of the closet, if that. So I think we're actually doing pretty good there. Oh, hey, I have someone in the chat. Yay. All right. So pretty much that is the main floor. I just need to do a few more windows. Okay, now in the closet, or let's see here. Closet doesn't have a window. The shower maybe has a window. We originally had a toilet on that wall, and there was then, but okay. So 36 by 72 is the general window size that this client wants. So let me get my setup here. So 36, 72, and then the top is 92 inches off the floor, which puts us 20 inches off the bottom. So, because you've got a 9-foot ceiling. With an 8-foot ceiling, your window top is generally 80 inches off the floor. All right, so we want window. Now I'm just going to copy and paste. Okay, the great room has the big giant wall plus the one over the sink, so we're good there. The hunting room will have one. And then across the back wall, 1, 2, looks like 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So those are just kind of real quick ballparked. So I'm just real quick kind of going around and evening out some of these numbers. Because we don't want stupid measurements. We want things to look good from the outside. So let's do 4 foot. You want there to be some pattern, some repetition, some symmetry, things like that. So I think that gives us real nice spacing along the back wall. We've got one small weirdness here. If depending on where the dimension lines pull from, that's when you can get those odd things. So my walls are a nice even 104, but I've obviously got just a little something here with the way that porch meets, that it was pulling an extra 1/8 of an inch somewhere. So, all right. I've said this 5 times already, but now the main floor. Yes. Okay. Got our porch. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to build the second floor. And the second floor, as I mentioned earlier, it's kind of just a little L-shaped thing that's wedged in here. It's above the back part of this, and then it's above this section here. Because we've got a different, the client has already sent me a picture of the roof line that they've worked out for this building. And so there's a big giant gabled roof over the majority of the structure up to this wall here. And it's a big gable with scissor trusses on the inside. So we have different ceiling heights in a few spots. And then on that half of the structure, or that little third of the structure, there's a hip roof that creates this covered patio that goes around. So, anywho, okay, so now what we need to do is we need to save. Okay, build a new floor. Normally I would derive it from the first floor plan, but I'm going to make a blank because I know I'm only using that certain little bit of space. My second floor, I believe it's just a standard 8-foot ceiling. So we're good there. We're good there. Roof. Okay, I'm just reading through my dialog box, making sure. So now, because I created a blank plan, I have to turn on, my reference display. So those red lines are the floor directly below me. They would be either floor above or below, depending on which direction you came from. But in my case, this is the floor directly below. So now I need to build some walls. Exterior. So we're going to come here to here. We're going to come here to, we're just going to randomly guess there. Come out, over, follow this wall down, and then connect. So now what we're going to do is we got to kind of go through and one by one. This tool down here at the bottom is the Align with Wall Below tool. And so it, as it says, aligns with the wall below. Now, I always like to double check, because if you're too far off, it won't align. If it's not touching the wall below, it won't align with the floor below. So I always like to throw it off by an inch using my arrow key just to double check. Okay, so now the 2 dimensions that I don't have based on below are these 2 walls here. So Let's see here. I do not have a dimension for that. So let's pull this up. Let's look at the bottom. Okay, that is 16 foot. And because of wall thicknesses, we'll make that 17 foot. 6.5 exterior wall, 6.5 for the other exterior wall. Although technically that would be an interior wall. So I'm going to open up my dialog box to wall types, and I'm going to turn this to an interior 4. Pretty sure. Same with this one. This is a wall type interior 4, and actually so is this one. Okay. Sorry, my nose is itchy. Okay. So 17 feet across, that's good. And then the length. Okay, well, 65 is the overall. Okay. If I look at my drawing, that's actually really close. So let's pick an even number. 60 foot. Because it does show that that exterior wall is right about in line with where this this first garage door is. Okay. Crap out my daisy. All right, and then we do one other little thing. We actually have, okay, so that's wall. We have railing. We want to do like a landing up here. So let's make it okay, from here to there. I don't want it to be from the inside of the wall. I want it to be from that side of the wall. And then same here. Okay. So we're going to make this 6 foot square landing. Because we want to make sure that we've got plenty of space for maneuvering furniture up and down. And it kind of creates this open balcony space. So I'm actually going to open this and do a room divider here. Okay. And then this wall comes this way just a little bit. Oh, yeah, I do see your comment about the doors in the kitchen. The default template for my kitchen cabinets is doors. I can go back in and change those to drawers. And I am imagining the client will. Honestly, I picture those little 12-inch units on the island to be drawers, as well as quite a bit of the opposite side. But that's a detail at this phase in the process that I don't really mess with. I just take this to the cabinet designer and I say, this is how many linear feet of cabinetry we have. These are the locations of the appliances. Now what can we fit in there? So yes, there are a lot of doors in there right now, but that will not be the way it's actually built. So thank you for that comment. All right. Sorry, I'm still getting used to seeing the two screens and seeing the comments when they come in. All right. So then we have, still using my interior wall tool, we have back there. And then down on this end, we're going to have a bedroom and kind of this open workout space as well as that. So now I just need to go down a floor, back to the main floor. You can see where I've got my second story up above. That's all those red lines. And then I've got my landing. Now the one thing I need to do, of course, is a staircase. So I'm just going to real quick draw a run of stairs. That is way too long. I'm going to riser height of 7 inches. Still feel like that's too much. Hold on. I hate stairs. Hold on. Calculator time. Okay, 10 foot, because it's a 9-foot ceiling with a 1-foot floor thickness, 120 inches divided by, no, not 11, divided by 7, puts me at about 17 treads. Okay. So I am off by about 2 treads. Okay. And then I also want to make sure my width is nice. So I'm actually going to make this a 48-inch width. And push it up against that. Oh, too far. Okay. So now we have a staircase going up. And if we were to pull out our camera here, there you can see it go up. All right. And then as you can see, that staircase actually goes and hits that ceiling. This ceiling is not the correct height. So what I need to do is over here on this garage room under my structure tab, it has the option for flat ceiling over the room or not. So I removed that flat ceiling. And that messed it up. Hold on one second. Oh, no, it didn't mess it up because, okay, it looks like it messed it up, but that's only because I don't have the roof on. So once the roof is on, that will be enclosed. So you can see how that fits and how there's this 9-foot high ceiling over this back section. Obviously, there'll be some structural supports, posts going down that way. But there we go. So that feels about right. Okay. And then okay. So then if we go up to the second floor, this room also, we want we're gonna call it like a family room or we have a loft option. No, we don't have a loft option. Yeah, we'll call it family room. And again, under the structure tab, I'm pulling off the flat ceiling option over this room. So for the moment, it'll disappear, but when we put the roof on, it will adjust. So there we go. So we got rid of, you'll notice that roof plane that was over, or ceiling plane that was above this landing is gone now. So, okay. So now I can go ahead and turn off my floor reference display. Okay. Down on this end, we've got kind of a little mini kitchenette bar area with a bathroom behind it. So what is the dimension of this? Okay. I'm lowering that to 5'1" for now because all we need up here is can't spell. Okay, so we got a tub shower combo. Toilet. And I'm just going to quick run down to the main floor here. Copy and paste to vanity. And we'll do so we've got a 27-inch center vanity, and then I'm going to do a 12-inch drawer unit on either side. For the moment, I'm not going to mess with changing that from door to drawer, but that's the plan. Okay. And then we just got some extra storage space. So the client might decide to do like a linen closet or something right there, because it is kind of a long, narrow bathroom. Although actually, I did not verify this dimension, so we might actually have a little less space. Okay. Because we want at the top. Okay, so then we've got this. It goes in here, and I want to make this a 3-foot door, because this is going to be like an exercise workout room. So obviously exercise equipment, you want to have plenty of space. And oops, that reminds me, when I changed my powder room door down here from a 3.0 to a 2.6, I forgot to go back and change my laundry room door back up to a 3-foot. Part of the reason I always do those laundry room doors as 3-foot instead of 2'6" is because your washer and dryer are usually 30 inches. And so if you're trying to maneuver something in and out when you get it installed, or if something breaks, you don't want to have to be taking doors off of hinges and busting down the wall. You just make the door bigger, and it just saves time and hassle down the road. So, sorry. Okay. So then this is a bathroom. I might actually, instead of... Yeah, I like that. So we'll do like a full height cabinet there, and that'll provide the storage that this upstairs space needs. So then up here we have it's kind of like a kitchenette. So we have a refrigerator. And I don't know if it's going to be the same size as the one downstairs or what, but we'll do that. They're showing a cooktop, but I don't know. But they've got just like a little 2-burner cooktop, so.
Hey, Mom, can we have a bunch of balloons? A bunch of balloons, please, Mom.
Not right now, sweetie. And obviously we want a little bit of space there, so. And I think I see a microwave on that side. So let's do wall cabinet. Wall cabinet. we're going to do an under cabinet microwave again. Okay. And so we've got a little induction top, a microwave, fridge, again, upper cabinet above that. And we'll make that 24 inches deep. And then when we do the kitchen design, there'll be a end panel that goes on there for that to slide on in. Okay, so we've got that. And then this is a little peninsula kitchen. So I'm going to come over here. And it has a sink. Okay. And it also has a custom countertop. All right. And again, bar stools. We'll do 3. Okay. So there you can see what that looks like. Again, there's also windows. So on the main floor we did 36 by 72 because of the 9-foot ceiling height. Upstairs we're doing 36 by 60 because we have an 8-foot ceiling height. Oh, they've got the tub turned the other direction. Okay, so that would make, hold on. So actually, skip that. Slide that on down. Slide that on down. Rotate that. I actually need to make this just a little less. Because we need to do a little partition wall to contain the end of that tub. Okay, now a 36-inch wide window is not going to fit in that bathroom. So maybe that one will do 24. Okay. But then going on down the row here, we've got kind of a pair of windows here, pair of windows down here at this end, and maybe a pair of windows somewhere here in the middle. Now for this, I want to go out here. And that's kind of a weird lot of windows. So I'm thinking what I'd like to do to kind of clean this up here is Like, I don't want to take away too many windows, but I almost feel like instead of doing clusters of windows, we'd be better off if we tried to line up some of these. So something kind of like that to me feels a little bit less clustered. And you've got some vertical carryover. I feel like that, yeah, I mean, that just definitely feels a little bit more organized. So then if we go back to the working plan view, turn on that reference display here, we can just double check. That we're in line with what's down below. And then these ones here in the middle. Okay. So now if we go outside, yep, you can see how that all just lines up much better. Yeah. Okay. So now I can turn that off again. Okay, so this here is the workout room. There's really not a name for that in the list, so I'm going to call it, well, we'll call it family one more time, but then I'm going to manually change it to workout room. At that point, the name type doesn't really matter. It's just certain rooms, like bathrooms and kitchens, have different defaults for material settings for like flooring and whatnot. And like a garage, for example, is not automatically counted in the square footage unless you tell it to. So that's really the only reason why you'd want to include that. My flower is drooping. All right, and then down on this end, we want to do a bedroom. And this is pretty straightforward. Closet interiors are 2'1". It's got to have space for, well, actually, I don't need to do that. I can go down a floor, copy and paste. Okay, yeah. So the template is just the rod and shelf. There we go. But you'll notice those extra little CAD lines down here at the bottom. What those are, I do those manually, because so often, and on a shallow closet like this, where it's the standard 2'1" depth, it's not as big of a deal. But on a closet where it's a walk-in closet, so many people forget about walking space. If you're walking into the closet, you obviously have to have space to walk in. Let me finish this here. So, for example, you know, if you have a closet that's, we'll say 5 feet across, If all you have on either side is this 1-foot template, I'll zoom out to here to the main floor, you can see this 1-foot template on either side, you might think I have tons of room. But then once you add in these CAD lines that are just shy of 2 feet long, which is the hanger on that rod, you see that your walking space is actually only about 2.5 feet across, not 4 feet across like you might think, because you've got those hangers sticking out, which is the point of a closet. So I always like to show that, just to kind of reiterate or remind people that, hey, you know, walk-in closets are not, you know, anytime you have to stand somewhere, it's a waste of space, kind of, to a degree. Okay, I'm not going to give this a bedroom number. I'm just going to call it bedroom. And then we will need a window. Actually, I'm probably going to do 2. Because at that point, we're above the garage below. So let's do 3'6". Okay. Okay. So we've got a bedroom, it's got a closet, it's good sized. We've got a workout room that could, if it ever needs to be, it could be subdivided out into like an office space in the future. And then we've got this big giant kind of loft family room space up here. It's kind of an opening. The client, it's a little unclear on the plans whether they want this to be like a door or just this room extends out, and so it's kind of open to below. So we'll leave it as is for now. There's really not too many extra closets except for that. You know, maybe down here on the end of the family room, they'll decide they want some extra storage space there, but for now we'll leave it. And then the only other thing to do now is roof. And then seeing where I can fit some windows in this workout room. I think we might try and do like some transom windows. So, for my roof, and I have a drawing that the client gave me, because like I said, he's already got the truss design kind of figured out. I don't know what pitch he's got. Oh wait, maybe hold on. He sent me. So I have a picture that the engineer worked up of what this roof line looks like. I don't see a pitch, but looking at what I see, it's not a 6, it's less than a 612. It's looking more like a, maybe a 4. And then I'm guessing that section's a little less. Okay. Yeah, let's do that as a 5. Okay. So over here in Chief, what I'm going to do, let's see here. I don't want to build it on the main floor. Okay, so my main floor is 18. So, okay. So I'm going to build my roof. I'm going to do it manually. I'm coming from here to here and to the midpoint. I need to do an 18-inch overhang here. I need to do an 18-inch overhang here. And then I'm going to go in here and I'm going to change my pitch to a 512. I'm going to lock my pitch in the dialog box, and I'm going to change my baseline height to 18 foot. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my roof. I'm going to do a second one. So I'm going to come across here. I'm going to come up to the center. I'm going to align that panel. I'm going to align that. Again, I'm going to go into my dialog box, change this to a 512 pitch, lock that, and then my baseline at 18 foot. Okay, so now that's looking pretty good, pretty accurate, 18 foot. Yep. Okay, so now we have that section, and that is a 9 foot baseline. Okay, so we're going to use roof tools here. Come in here. Now, over here, we don't want to go to the midpoint. We want to go to this point because those line up. Cancel. I want to delete. Hold on. That is not correct. Okay. It's from out here. There we go. Now I can do this correctly. So again, I want 18 inches here for my overhang. I'm going to open this up. I want to change my pitch to a 512. And on this one, my baseline is my baseline at 10 foot. Looks about right. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So just shy of 10 foot there. And then we'll come back here and do the same thing. Come across. Make sure, yep, I'm lined up there. Here, I want to be lined up with that. Nope. That one. Yeah. And again, adjust my pitch to a 512. Okay, so now what does that do? Okay, that's correct. Oh, something's a little bit off right there. My center point. There we go. Okay. And then there's kind of this weird hip section that wraps around. And it's at a different pitch. It's at a 3, I believe. It's got to be at a 3. Okay. So let's move that. Okay, roof tool. So we've got something here. Now the edge lines up there, and then this kind of becomes a triangle to come in this way, and this actually comes up to that wall. Okay, then so I'm changing my pitch to degrees. My baseline is the same. Now I'm going to come over here and do this. Actually, this triangles like that. Oh, hang on. Perfect. Okay. Which means this also does that. This comes to here. This goes to there. So now, roof pitch. Change that to a 3. Make sure this is a 3. And now let's look at our camera. Okay, so somewhere we've got a baseline that's a little bit off.
Oh, cool.
And then over here, okay. So for my purposes, hold on, let me check one last thing. Yeah. Okay. For my purposes, that is darn close enough. So you can see how everything fits together. You can see how there's the overhang. You can see we've got these windows for that bedroom. And now we just need to figure out that workout room. We're going to do an awning. 18. But now if we check the plan view, see that ended up in the bedroom, not in the workout room. And with the way that roof pitch is, not quite sure if we'll be able to get anything in there unless we do something kind of triangular, or if when they do those scissor trusses, the client wants to do a vault in that workout room instead of a flat ceiling. I'm going to try and put one over here. Let's do... Yeah, even that's not really going to help. So I'm going to delete those and I'll just talk to the client about what that ends up doing. Okay. So we've got that. And that is essentially what our building is looking like. Okay, so I just need to do a few more things. First of all, I always like to move my roofs up to the attic level. So display on floor above. And then I'll go up to the second floor and do the same thing. That's why that one looks a little funky. Didn't get my rear overhang correct. Okay, so now if I go up a floor, yep, oh yeah, there we go. I totally missed that. Okay. Now again, I still don't want these on this floor. I want these, and see, that's why that was off too. Haha, see? Sometimes you have to see things out of context for them to fit. So now if I go back to my overview, yeah, that's close enough. Okay. So again, I'm moving these up, display on floor above, so that they're essentially on like an attic level. Okay. And then if I go up here to attic, there you can see all of my roof, and those few auto-created attic walls. So, all right, and on the second floor, okay, so we've got a 6-foot closet. The room is that. Actually, we could line this with that. And that's still a very adequate sized bedroom. Okay. And then all we need to do down here is some structure posts. Buddy. Okay. And then I just see my height to be, we'll try 10 foot, see what that does. Where did I put that? Hold on. There we go. That's why I couldn't see it. Sorry. Okay, so it's a little tall. Let's drop that to, okay. Why stop? Okay.
Woohoo! 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 Hello!
Okay.
Woohoo! Hello! Woohoo! Hello! Woohoo!
And I don't want those to be concrete posts.
Hello!
Okay, so I need one kind of right about here, even with the edge of the house. Edna, stop. All right, and then one more
Look,
kind of in the middle here.
look her. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her, Mom. Look at her.
Honey, I'm busy. I love you, but I'm
Look
busy.
at her.
Honey, you don't fit there.
Look at her. Look.
I see, but you know what?
I didn't see that.
I'm busy focused on work right now. I can't be focused on Edna chewing stuff. All right. And then I also need to do two more over here. Okay. And we've got 15, 14.
Can you help me? Mom. Mom. Mom.
Buddy,
Mom. 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 Are you listening to me?
I'm trying to get work done actually.
Mom. Are you listening to me?
Buddy.
Listen to me. Like that. Like that daisy on your ears.
How does it look pretty?
This is up there.
I put a bobby pin in.
Lights. Lacy. Oh.
Okay. All right. So now there we go. Voila. Now, okay, we also want to do a couple things. This great room here is vaulted. So we go to structure, remove flat ceiling. Bedroom, bathroom, none of that. We're going to vault. So
Mom.
So we go
Are you
here.
listening to me?
Oops. And that, of course, would not be a siding wall. That would be a drywall wall. But there we go. There we go. There we go. Yay. Perfect. So I think that actually, if I'm reading everything right, yeah, I think if I'm reading everything right, that pretty much does it for what I've got going on here. So all that's left for me now is then to just put it in my layer set. So with my layer set, I would do, you know, first floor on one page, second floor on another page. Then I'll do my exterior elevations, which are not as important because, like I said, the client already has the truss thing figured out. And then I would just do my details of my cabinets. And again, in referencing back to the previous comment, at least on a first draft of a plan like this, I don't mess with doors versus drawers versus any of that. I just say, hey, here's how many linear feet of cabinet you've got. And then when we go to the cabinet supplier, we can fine tune those details as far as what all they want. So that is pretty much what I wanted to share today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for the commentary. I really do appreciate it. And if you have any other questions, please leave comments below. I'll try and swing back and answer those later on. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos, and follow me on Facebook. I always kind of remind over there as well. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and be sure to like Revision Custom Home Design for all of your home